Jam on toast!
Hey there, welcome to Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to Trainspotting. This video is in response to Roosterteeth's horribly named podcast, Screenplay. In week 3 here, we are reviewing Trainspotting, so they're going to talk about it on the show next week. We'll just have to see how this keeps going. You can use the hashtags Screenplay or RT Screenplay to kind of track it. Again, Screenplay is still pulling up screenplay stuff and not the podcast material, so RT Screenplay for the win. So the short sell on this one is that it's a drug movie, because we haven't seen a couple of these before. To me, this is kind of the Scottish version of Requiem for a Dream, except maybe not quite as intense, or intense in different ways as we differ from American and European. And I did start looking about like the movie, but I've been told off by Scotsman before for trying to do it, and even if this is a slight improvement, Ewan McGregor couldn't hold it together, so I figure I'm probably going to lose at some point here, and it's already falling apart, so we're not going to do that today. My love it for this was the surprise, because when I first saw the movie, I never knew it was her, and it was Kelly MacDonald. Beautiful Scottish lady, totally didn't expect her to take her top off at all. But that's not why it's good. That's not why I enjoyed it. I just liked that Kelly MacDonald was in the movie, because I'll watch pretty much anything she's in and generally like it. This is going to go to the bottom of that barrel, though. I mean, hooray for titties, but that's not why she's my beloved. I just like her as an actress. I hate it. We did changes the scene for this. The shit scene. No, just don't do that. Don't throw chocolate pudding at other actors. Just don't do it. Despite his extreme inconsistencies with his Scottish accent, Ewan McGregor carries this movie. I recognize 3 out of the 4 main characters of Kelly MacDonald, like, right off the bat. Ewan McGregor and Kelly MacDonald only names I know, but I recognize the other guys' faces. One of them was in Hackers. And is currently playing Sherlock Holmes. The American version, at least. But let's roll on to the categories.
Aesthetics.
I don't know what it is about Scotland that just makes it near impossible to film in good quality there. Maybe they wanted it to look like a Scottish movie. Maybe it just is a Scottish movie. Maybe because it is slightly older, it's not the greatest quality, but and then you throw things in like that shit scene that just makes me uncomfortable even talking about it. There's dongs and willies all over the place, so it has that European feel to it, so it probably is a Scottish movie. And I'm not saying it's bad, but it was a choice, the fact that you did that. I don't know if the idea was to shock people or just, oh, he took off his pants, why not show his cock? Of course, you throw a beautiful woman like Kelly MacDonald in there, you give it that, like, super edge of making her a high school girl. Like, it definitely messes with you. All the hallucinations and that trip into the toilet, I could have done without that, honestly, but it did make a statement or two. Their outfits and everything, the fact that it's just like that threadbare look, and I'm sure that's what junkies' houses look like, but it doesn't make much of a movie. It doesn't really pull to me like, oh, look at these 4 guys. Like, look at this shitty scene. Maybe I've seen too many movies, but it's a shit scene on purpose, and I get it. It's just hard to appreciate, especially since I don't watch movies like this very often. Can't say that I was a huge fan of it, but they definitely had points in doing most of what they did. Aesthetics gets a 60.
Character development.
Now, Ewan McGregor's character has a lot of development, and it's mostly him trying to deal with these other people in his life, and of course, the heroine. Kelly MacDonald is by far the most interesting female character in the movie, and she is tied into him. His parents, have much more involvement than any of the others. Like, Spud's mom comes in, and then Bigby starts yelling at her. I didn't know what was happening, because I'm like, who is this lady? Oh, it's his mom. Why do I care? They're not redeemable characters. McGregor has points where his character does come around, but it's not the best it could be. The most interesting parts are where they get off the spec and we actually get to see who they are instead of who they are turned into with the drug. Character development gets 70.
Storyline.
Anytime you can turn the storyline into a Chumbawamba song, I got knocked up, I got knocked down, gotta get up again, can't keep me down. It's not the best story. I'm not saying it's a bad story. Like the idea of him being able to kick it for as long as he did, because he went almost cold turkey in the middle of it there. I think he was taking some Vicodin or something that actually is heroin. It's just like in pill form. So he was taking supplements, and then like he went and got on the methadone, and like he was trying. Like I like that part of it. I like the idea of somebody trying to get away from something they can't control about themselves. And if you extrapolate that and you relate to it in different manners, even I can get behind that. So it's a little bit better, but in the end, I don't know. It's not really gonna draw me because they're still the whole time. Storyline gets a 60.
Compulsion.
I think my point in all this is that this is not a movie that I would watch. This is not a movie designed for me. This is not a movie that you're gonna look at me and go, you should watch Trainspotting. You don't know me if that's what you think. I think everyone should watch this movie because it has very important parts. Ewan McGregor and Kelly MacDonald, two people I would watch in almost anything, and this proves it. Even with that, I was ready to turn it off, but probably even before he crawled in the toilet. Because, honestly, I was just like, oh, this is a drug movie. What's that on the wall? Compulsion gets a 30. Now, if you total all that up, you get an average of 55. Now, that is a near pass, but I would go ahead and stick this in the shit not to watch bin. For my wrap-up review, I've got to say, while I would put this in the shit not to watch bin, this is a crazy popular movie, or at least it was, because they have, like, back in the days where you had VHS shelves, I think. But if you just like movies with Scottish accents, you like Ewan McGregor, you want to see Kelly MacDonald take her top off, I never thought I'd say I wish that didn't happen, but I hate that that's a selling point for this movie. And again, not the best sign for a full, real movie. Just saying. But I would give this a miss, and I would suggest you give this a miss if drugs are not your thing, or if they really are your thing and you don't need to be triggered, don't watch this. But if you have a sustainable fortitude and you want to check this out, you want to see something different from Ewan McGregor, then watch this. Just my opinion. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm Cameron. If you don't like me, bite me.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.